New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel and New York Times top NFL reporter Diana Russini holding hands and hugging at a luxury hotel, getting very fancy and cozy with each other. What I will say is, I don't know if this is much of anything. Obviously, anyone who's been on social media today knows it's turned into, you see that 27.1 million views. And then Diana Russini's history of saying some very weird things about her husband in public forums and things like that. And her very interesting relationship with Mike Vrabel, calling him a broad man, among many other things, makes it very unusual. I'm not going to dive too deep into the weeds because this is mostly just funny. But what I will say is it is a bit of a bad look when you're talking about women covering sports, because now all it takes is one person to do this. Now everybody is suddenly cast into that light. So it'd be the same thing if you flip the fields and like men in a predominantly women's covered field, and then one guy screws it up and everything else after that is presumed the worst. And I hope this isn't true. I hope this is a weird photo grab and a weird moment of Mike Vrabel being shirtless by her. I guess I'm trying to justify it, but the more I look at it, the more I'm having concerns. But at the same time, it's a very uncomfortable look. And it's now anytime she says something, it's going to be like, where'd you get that information from? Where'd that come from? And so it's a very unfortunate situation, but the jokes write themselves, and the jokes have been absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You mentioned the fact that there is possibility that it's not as bad as it seems. And to be fair, let me suspend all reality for a second of what we are seeing with our eyes, and just let's look at this. What it is. He was at the coaches' meetings. She was at the coaches' meetings to cover the coaches' meetings. There were drinks involved after the God, I can't remember his name right now, but the short, fat guy that does a lot of the sports conversations. He was in Ballers, and he gets the coaches together every year. They get drunk. They go lay out in the water. If you look at that, to me, that doesn't look like there's a whole lot of seating out there. I'm going to give him 0.5% of the benefit of the doubt. You got 99.5% that I don't believe it. Anything that this is just friendly. But yeah, look, it's a bad look because honestly, you're both married. That's the part that's the worst for me. It's not a great representation for anything. I hate that part of it all because like you just like I want to make jokes about it and off air I will have made my jokes, but in a public eye, let me just state the fact that it's disrespectful to your spouses and your families that you're a public figure. You're both public figures, and you're being caught in a compromising position. And I'll just leave it at compromising because we don't know the reality of what's going on, but we can see pictures, and it's sure enough pretty compromising. But yeah, that's the toughest thing, man. You just want to be like, well, all right.
When you have a history of saying things like this too, it really paints in a very uncomfortable light on top of it. It's
look, there's jokes to be had, and I'm trying really, really hard to just not make this into a joke fest because I'm trying to not get us canceled. But like,
let the hate flow through you. It's well deserved at this point.
If we made fun of Adam Schefter for the Washington Commanders Redskins debacle, this is just as bad, if not worse.
It's still more integrity than some of the stuff that Adam Schefter's done, that's for sure as well. But it's very,
it's damaging to more than just her. It's like every female.
It was mostly a joke. I was mostly being fun. It's pretty bad.
Every female sports person that covers sports, anchor, reporter, whatever you want to call them, beat reporter, writer, whatever their job is, if they're covering sports now, it goes back. Honestly, you're kind of going to get put back in the situation where you were in the 70s and 80s, where you weren't allowed in locker rooms, where you were kind of shunned because, we just want to make sure things aren't, and it's not going to be the reality of the situation, but it's going to be a perception. And that's almost as damaging. Like that single-handedly is as damaging, if not worse, to the perception around women covering sports than anything else. And it has nothing to do with any other woman in sports covering sports other than Diana Russini. And it's like, it's a terrible situation. And she's already kind of
there's some questions around the
there's questions about her reporting.
Let alone this. Yeah. Like it's back. It casts such a brutal light on everybody else, just like it would be in a vice versa situation. So continue to Make the memes, those of you out there. Remember, there is other people involved, and not every woman who likes sports is a Diana Russini. So don't paint everybody with such
Yeah.
a broad brush. But continue to make the memes because they are hilarious. Don't
And
stop on
not
those. Continue.
not every reporter or writer or analyst or anything like that is Diana Russini. Diana Russini is the only person at fault here. Let's just keep that on the
Mike Vrabel's at fault too. But that's
well. No, sorry, from that
yeah, no, it's just
section.
funny. Like we're not letting Mike Vrabel try. The fact that he said he was going to cut off his, you know what, to win a Super Bowl. I hope he consented with both parties now, since it's not just his wife he had to consent with clearly. So hopefully he got everybody involved before saying that. Then.